Good morning. We've been trying to get all the RAC reps to sit where the RAC reps sit, and the committee chairs to sit where the committee chairs sit. Over the few times of COVID, I guess we kind of fell behind in knowing that, but I'm glad we got some of them sitting where they should. Only because we honor them by providing special seating. If they don't take advantage of it, plus you know, people then know who you are, so it's kind of important. I'd like to invite my vice president up, Deanna. She is going to lead us in the pledge.
Good morning. If everybody can stand. Okay. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Okay. Introductions. If you put the next slide up, please. We have our executive committee. They are sitting where they like to sit at all these meetings. We have our secretary, Janet Warren, Deanna, who was just up here, the vice president, our past president, Janice Harris, and myself, Ron Sweet. We also have past president sitting right there, because they're there, and do we have any other past presidents in the room? We still have some great past presidents, Pearl Birnbaum, Sarah Chambers. Appreciate all of their work. Your RAC reps, if the RAC reps would stand up and be recognized, if you can. These are wonderful people because they not only serve as your floor rep, but more importantly, they serve on a council. And at that council is where we kind of hear all the things that you feed into them, discuss it, and so forth. We had a wonderful council meeting this past month. We did a special one. It was 2 hours trying to plan out a little bit for what we're going to do this year and what's going to happen, and I'll cover a little of that a little later. Okay. We have our committee chairs. I don't know if we have too many committee chairs in the audience today, but committee chair, would you stand up, please? And some of the RAC reps are committee chairs as well. These are the driving force. These are the people who work hard with the committees that kind of take care of you. As you can see, there's administrative services, there's associate appreciation, community activities, and so forth and so on. And you will hear from two reports from two committees today, a little later in the presentation. At this meeting that we had that I mentioned, one of the things that's coming out of that meeting, we've always had committees working with each director. Sometimes it was two committees work with one director, except for one department, and that has been marketing. Well, we decided, hey, we would really like to work with marketing. We met with marketing. We're trying to define exactly how we'll do that. But over the next few months, we're going to form a committee. It's not going to be called the marketing committee because we're not selling. I think the working name is hospitality committee. And by the time we get around to in March, when we're looking for people to join committees, we will have an understanding. And if you want to deal with that, we'll have a framework for that. We discussed a lot of other issues going on your floors and going on with problems, and really had a great meeting. Over the years, Larry Chambers, would you please come up here? Larry?
I'm not dressed.
Over the years, Larry and his wife Sarah, who couldn't be here this morning, they have done so much for this community. Sarah has served as president, vice president, rec rep again, on committees. Even when she wasn't in any position, she was still doing things. She was something we called host coordinator, and Larry served Sarah. Larry served us all. He's always been Johnny on the spot and so forth. And we just want to, as RAC, we wanted to kind of recognize them. So I have this little plaque here, Larry. It says, Sarah and Larry Chambers, you've given so much to improve the lives of us at Freedom Plaza on behalf of the residents and the Resident Association Council. Thank you. What I'd like to do is invite Angie Rohr up. I know she's going to have a little presentation. She said she was bringing some help with her today, so we'll see what surprises. And I want to thank you so much for the strawberries yesterday. They were delicious. Anybody take part in those strawberries that were outside the grill? Just a few of you? Well, you missed them. They were beautiful and sweet. So thank you.
I can't even take credit for the strawberries. I think residents picked those strawberries. And Teresa and her team graciously got them ready so we could put them out at the hospitality station. But good morning, everybody. Belated Happy New Year. I think we did have a resident town hall meeting earlier in January, but if you weren't at that, Happy New Year to you. This is our first RAC meeting of 2023, and 2023 is going to be a year of great things happening at Freedom Plaza. I'm going to start by talking about sales and marketing. In January, we had one sale, which was what our budget was. We had a budget of one sale in January. We already have 2 deposits that are scheduled to close in February. Our budget for the first quarter is 7 sales. We are fully confident with our new team in place that we will far exceed our budget of 7 sales in the first quarter. We're so happy to have Iris and Carrie here, and Christina and Kat and Tiffany and Renee. They all do a fabulous job for us in the sales office, so we're really excited for great things to come this year. We are going to get back to 90% occupancy here. That is my goal for 2023. The next thing, and this is sort of a reminder, you all received the schedule for the floor, wing, building meetings. They are going to start up the week of February 13th. We did make one minor adjustment at the request of a GBT building where there was a schedule conflict, and we're happy to do that if your scheduled time doesn't work for you as an entire group. We can see what we can do to change it, and if it doesn't work for you individually, I encourage you to attend whatever meeting you want to that's on that schedule. And so we're working on the topics we're going to cover, but as always, you are able, it's the second part of that meeting is going to be an open Q&A, so we can talk about any topics that you want to discuss at that time. The next thing is our liquor license. You all are living large right now, enjoying the alcohol free of charge while we're waiting to get our new liquor license in place. Right now, the target date is June 1st. And so what we're doing, it's going to be a little different than what we've had in the past. We've always had a retail liquor license up until the last liquor license became ineffective. So what we're going to have, hopefully June 1st, is what we call a social club license. So those of you who are members of VFWs and American Legions, they have social club liquor licenses, and that's what we're going to have here at Freedom Plaza. There's some administrative things that go into that involve all of you being members. So there will be a membership form that you have to sign and we'll have to keep track of. But I think that's the easy part, right? But the really good news that comes with a social club license is that you are still able to BYOB to the dining room. And so that was something we always sort of looked the other way before when we had our retail license, It was really a no-no, but we didn't choose that battle to fight. But now we don't even have to worry about it with the social club license. So that's a real win for the residents here. Another good thing, I put in the memo this week, cookies coming back to the hospitality station. We threw in some strawberries yesterday. And we are working on procuring a new popcorn machine. So I don't know if COVID got to the last one or what happened, but our old popcorn machine does not work. So we are getting a new one, and we will be bringing popcorn back to the hospitality station as well. So we're going to alternate the cookies and popcorn, but keep an eye out for that, and I'll let you know as soon as we're going to get that popcorn machine installed and running. As we've mentioned many, many times, we have a new chef. His name is Jamie. We're going to put a real nice bio and picture on our Facebook page, but also on the back of next week's memo. He's bringing with him a sous chef that we're super excited about. So his name is Jose, and we'll have a bio and picture of him as well that we'll send out with the memo next week. But we are so excited. While they are both busy working in restaurants in St. Augustine right now, they're finding time to talk to Teresa every single day and coming up with new ideas and great things we're going to roll out when they're able to get here and get started. I know Jamie's start date is March 14th. So I'm sure Jose will start right around the same time as Jamie. Capital projects. I'm not going to talk too much about capital projects because City's going to do a full presentation at Resident Town Hall in February. He's going to do sort of a recap of everything we did last year in 2022, but then also give you a preview of all the projects that we're going to do this year in 2023. Lots of exciting things, and he may even wear a special costume for this presentation that I have bribed him to wear. So we're really looking forward to that. Next week, we have a lot more things in the works. The leadership team next week is going to get together at Plaza Club, and we're just going to spend a few hours and talk about our strategic plan for 2023. And Life Care Services has some priorities set for us, and I won't get too granular with you, but the priorities of Life Care Services are people, serve, performance, and growth. And so with each of those priorities, the department heads are working on some goals for their specific departments on how we're going to achieve and work in alignment with those priorities. And I've cautioned them all not to set goals that we can't attain because that's no fun, right? So we're picking some really attainable goals focused on what can we do, what can we bring back that we sort of lost during the pandemic, but also new things to engage residents, to engage employees, to improve Freedom Plaza overall. And I think all the department heads have some really good ideas, and as we're able to roll those things out or bring those initiatives to fruition, we'll communicate the details. But lots of good things to come from that meeting, I'm sure. And lastly, I'm not going to steal any of Susie's thunder because she's the surprise guest today. She's going to come up and finish this part of the presentation, but lots of good things coming to activities at Freedom Plaza. And so while I call Susie up, I also like to say Happy Activities Professionals Week to Susie. We so appreciate everything she does for Freedom Plaza, and she's going to tell you all the hard work she's been doing.
Thank you. I didn't even know it was activities professionally. That's all the hard work because of all the hard work we've been doing. Good morning. So I want to just spend a couple minutes telling you some really good news, and that's the fact that, we lost our full-time assistant back in September, and we've really done a lot to try to find the right person that's going to be able to keep up with our schedule, get along with us in the department because we work so closely together, but then also, and equally or even more importantly, is be able to work with you because we spend a lot of time with each of you through clubs and committees, and then you just walking through the door signing up for things. We found someone, her name is Kelly Isaac, and she started this week. Kelly, would you stand up and just wave to everybody? I didn't ask your permission, Kelly, but I'm going to tell them a little bit about you real quick, okay? Kelly is from Georgia. Her husband is a Lieutenant Colonel in the Army. He is out of McDill, right? Works out of McDill right now. So she loves the community already. You can already see that when we were doing the interview process, that she was a real good fit for this community, and she has lots of experience. She worked in the Miss Georgia, Miss America, what was it? Georgia, Miss Georgia pageant. She's worked in Epcot Center. She's actually hosted several important people when she was there for special events and things like that. So she has a lot of, brings a lot of experience to the department, so we're excited to have her. So when Angie was talking about some of the events that we're talking about, one of the strategic planning things that we were going to do is just really stretch the program. And you know that every event, right? I'm sure that you already know this, but 95% of everything that we do in our department is resident driven. In other words, it's your recommendation, it's your preferences. The only thing that we don't do that doesn't come from you is our holidays. You know, we plan our holiday events as we should, right? But everything, all the trips, all the things that you've done, we really listened to you this year and the things that you wanted to bring back or refresh or just have new. And I'm going to give you an example of that is that, is anybody here from the scholarship committee? Yes? Okay, so I don't know how long your history with the scholarship committee and how long you've been on it, but you know the scholarship committee was founded by Peggy Burgess, who is in our department. She's still the advisor to that group, along with some of the other pioneer residents. And in the past, for many, many, many years, like 20-some years, they planned cruises. And that was part of their fundraising efforts, was to plan a cruise. In the last couple of years, they decided not to do that any longer. They have other opportunities for fundraisers. Am I correct, Mr. T? Is that correct? Okay. And so you have asked that you would like us to start bringing back some cruises, 1 or 2 a year. And the only thing in the stipulation that you said was we don't want to go to the Caribbean. We go there all the time. Yeah. So we're starting to work on cruises. I've already actually been in touch with a travel agent, and we're going to work on some things that you've asked for, that you've inquired about. Now, when we have these RAC meetings, floor meetings, right? Is that what they're called? The floor meetings, then I'll be attending those, and I'll be getting your feedback about specific places that you may want to go. And you take that information, and based on the majority, then that's where we'll look at. So those are some things that are going on. You did say that you were interested in having, from time to time, some weekend events. So we're looking at that as well. Already, we have John Foster and the scholarship. If I could plug the scholarship committee. You already have something coming up in, when is it? March or April? April 1st. April 1st, it's on a Saturday. So there's one event right there. Hi, Mr. Foster. So there's one event right there on the weekend. We'll count that as for us. So we'll be planning some weekend events, which we do from time to time, but we'll be doing more of those this year. And I understand you're excited about that, so we'll do that as well. Some of the you've asked about GVT programming down outside, out there. We're going to do those. We've already got one planned. It's going to be a spring fling. I'm not going to tell you who the entertainment is right now because it's really kind of cool if I can make it happen. Working on it. But Teresa and I have come up with some really good ideas for some beverages and some fun desserts or treats down there. And that date is March I don't know. Don't write it. I don't have my calendar with me. And as you know, we have tons of things that are coming up. So it's the beginning of March. We want to do it before it gets too warm. So that's an outdoor event that everybody will be able to go to. And then there's just lots more. I'll share those with you as time goes by. You know that, did I forget anything, Angie, that we talked about? Oh yes, thank you. We have a mystery trip coming up. You said, thank you, that's good. The mystery trip is February the 28th, I think. And that was something that residents that you said that, and we haven't done in the 15 years I've been here. So I was kind of excited. That was kind of fun for us to put together and plan. No, we're not going to, you can come into the office. We're allowing you to come in and you can have 3 guesses. And we'll tell you if you're wrong, but we're not going to tell you if you're right. It is a mystery trip, right? So, and we're not telling you if you're going north or south. You're not going to have any idea. Now, we know, we came up with this the other day, and we thought we were so clever. You know, there's residents that have said that I love a little suspense, I love a little surprise, but a mystery trip going off campus, I'm not sure about that. So here's what we came up with the other day. You know those pop-up parties that we did last year and you liked them? Remember y'all were excited about those? Yes? No? Okay. Well, a lot of you were. We're going to bring those back, and we're going to keep what the theme is going to be a mystery. So for you, I know. So for those of you that are not like a little suspense, a little surprise, but you're not that big on surprises, so you don't want to get on the bus, we're going to do some little theme surprises here for you for the pop-up. You'll know the dates, just like you do for the mystery trip, but you won't know what the theme is going to be. Good? Okay, good. I'm glad you like that idea. All right, I think that's all that I've got. Okay, give it back to Ron. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day and a great weekend. And see you at the Art League exhibition this afternoon.
Thank you.
No, we'll let you still come up, Mike. As you can see, management is planning a lot of good things and getting back to a lot of good things. I have been working closely with Angie to kind of just push her along a little bit to try and get back what we had before COVID, and it's hard. Look, if you look at this audience, we used to have more chairs in here, so we got to get the people out. We got to get the people moving. We had a great seminar this past week called Get Moving, and yeah, it had a fairly decent turnout, but there could have been a lot more of you at that meeting. What I'd like to do now, as always, we always have a couple of committees report at every meeting. I would like to bring up from Associate Appreciation, our fine chair of Associate Appreciation, who has served her last term. You're still sitting there, good. Janet Lecture has, for some special reasons, is not going to be chairing this year, but I did want her to come back up, report on what happened last year, and also to kind of thank her for everything she has done. Janet, if you please would come up here. I know it's tough for you. She told me she really hoped that she didn't cry during this presentation, because it's tough. This is something, it's been from her heart all the time to take care of the associate. So if you would do that, I'm so thrilled to have you here, and I'm so terrified to lose you.
Well, I did ask Ron and several of my friends to say a little prayer that I don't get real emotional up here. Just a quick thing, when I was principal, we had our 5th graders we had a little graduation for them, and then because they were going to go to middle school, And my teacher said, I've never seen the principal gets choked up when fifth graders are gonna go to the sixth grade. So you can imagine what this means to me. When I came here, all I knew about the Associate Appreciation Committee, is you gave money. And we gave our money every year. But it wasn't until, I was going to join it. In the first meeting, they made me chair. Didn't know a thing about it. But it's been so heartwarming, and I have had the greatest people in the world to work with. I wanted their names to be up. This is the current list. Absent from that list is the first year Charlotte Fernandez was on the committee. And also we had Kim Freeman. This is the, last year was the only year she wasn't on. And Maria Martucci was a part of our team for 2 years. Now, this group of people, plus the names that I just told you, we worked hard to raise in 3 years over $610,000. Okay, I'm going to start. Thank you, Ron, for giving me the opportunity, really, to come and thank all the residents, the Associate Appreciation Committee, and the directors for making the 2022 RAC Employee Appreciation Fund check distribution the most successful ever. $210,000 was distributed among all those who qualified, hourly workers who qualified to receive a check, because they have worked at least 125 hours before October the 29th, 2022. And we're still working at Freedom Plaza on the day they received their check. Now, this is not a bonus check. A lot of people say that. This is a gift of appreciation from the residents. The different departments had ways of recognizing people for their hard work. Ours is a gift of appreciation. The amount of their check was based on the number of hours they worked, how many employees qualified to receive that check, and how much money we raised to give to them. Of the 389 hourly employees who qualified for a check last year, all but 3 employees either picked up their own check or signed an authorization form for someone else to pick up their check, because they were not going to be able to be on campus the day they were to receive their check, or on the day that we had for makeup day. I kept those 3 checks for almost 2 weeks in case they called with a very good excuse. No one called, so our treasurer voided the checks and the money remains in our account. I can't brag enough on our directors for the effort they made to get everyone in their departments to either pick up their check on the assigned day or on makeup day. Now, you may be thinking, why do we have to remind them so much? After all, they're getting the check. Well, that's our generation thinking. But a lot of our hourly associates are still going to high school or college, and they have classes to attend. If they're still in college, they may not even be in town. Some who are attending college get most of their hours in the summer and on the holidays. And some of the night shift at Plaza West are harder to reach. The directors and their department leadership teams did an amazing job of making sure their hourly employees received their checks. Now we all know how busy the month of December is at Freedom Plaza. But late on Monday evening, December the 12th, I completed the list of employees who needed to pick up their checks between 9 a.m. and 12 noon on Wednesday, December 14th. So I sent an email to the directors who had employees that were on my makeup list. I couldn't give them that information earlier because we were still giving out checks on Monday afternoon. Now, because they would only have one day to contact these employees, I told Benny, they're going to kill me. I had been pushing those authorization forms for at least 2 months. So I knew they would probably say, when they saw the email was from me, nag, nag, nag. But they didn't kill me, and they made some phone calls. 32 of the 35 employees on that list picked up their check on makeup day or authorized someone else to get it. The directors made sure those employees were contacted. Doug and I were giving out the checks on makeup day. I heard Doug ask someone how she knew to come for her check today. She said, my boss called me. Now that's teamwork. I was so excited that I only had 3 checks left. But the best part was the directors were so excited. They even had little competition going on there. They wanted their department to have 100%. Several directors told me how much the December checks meant to their employees. So please give a round of applause for the directors of Freedom Plaza.
How many employees?
That
How many employees?
389. Now, Ron also asked me to talk about being chair of the Associate Appreciation Committee. I think a lot of you already know I needed to resign at the end of December. My husband has some health problems that still need to be addressed, and my role as his caregiver during that time has to be my first priority. If anyone is interested in being chair, please let Ron or Janice Harris know. I can honestly say the new chair will inherit a great team. All the committee members are hardworking and know the process that made the last 3 years so successful. And I will be happy to help the new chairperson get comfortable with the whole process. Think about it. You will find it is different from other committees. And on check distribution day, when so many of the associates want to hug you and lean across the table and hug the committee members and tell you how much that check is needed and appreciated, you will look at the committee members and say, this is why we do it. I personally want to thank the independent living residents and the people who write the checks for the residents in assisted living Plaza West, the Inn, and the Arbors, who have supported our fund the last 3 years. Thank you.
For many years, as long as I've been here, and probably forever, we've had a visually impaired committee called the VIP committee. Sometimes that got very confusing. I remember a time we had a wonderful entertainment up on the stage here. He was here from Disney, and he saw the front row was VIP. And he kept inviting people up because he thought they were VIPs. After the show was over, I told him what VIP meant to us, and he was a little embarrassed, but I said, hey, when you come back, at least you'll know what we're talking about. But there's been some changes, and I'd like to invite Janet Warren up to talk about those.
Good morning, I'm Janet Warren, RAC Secretary and Chair of the Health and Wellness Committee. I've been asked to tell you about a structural change in 2 of our committees. We have 12, as you know, and there are anywhere from 9 or more people on each committee. We have 20 people in the council, so you have a large group of people working all the time through the year for the benefit of the residents. And of course, the VIP committee has been a very important committee for those who have been visually impaired. And we're not talking about severeness necessarily. I'm visually impaired, I'm wearing glasses. So their services have been for everyone who have those concerns. So if you don't know what all these committees are doing for you, I invite you to go to racrep.org and check out the minutes that they submit every month, because you will be amazed at the work that they do. So for many years, the VIP committee has provided exceptional services. They've had group discussions on a monthly basis. They've procured speakers for workshops. They've acquired special equipment and provided many services. But this past year, they have faced some challenges because they lost key people in leadership positions, either passed away or moved away or had health challenges. And so the secretary, Joan Michelle, who is here today, found herself also assuming the chair of that committee, and there were only just a few members left. It became very difficult to keep that committee going. We on the healthcare committee knew about this because we had several members on our own committee who were VIP members. So we discussed all of this and approached Joan. Joan came to one of our meetings, and the result of that meeting is that we decided to merge those 2 committees. Now that doesn't mean that the VIP committee just goes away. They will continue on as they always have with Joan's leadership and hopefully other leadership that evolves in the future. But they will have the support of our committee if necessary for any of the things that they still want to do. So we feel like this is a happy marriage. The RAC Council has approved this action, and the RAC Council also has approved making the Healthcare and Wellness Committee a working committee. That means that we can have more than 9 people, which is generally the limit. We found that we have added additional members who really have a specific skill set and gifts to share with the community here at Spring Plaza. So we're enlarging our group with the VIP committee, as well enlarging our group with other members, and that's a good thing. I want to say that Joan, where are you? Yeah, would you stand, please, because she has done so much on this committee and has kept it vital and moving forward. And again, it doesn't mean that we're absorbing them. They are just going to be a part of us for a while. If they ever want to become a committee again, then that's in the future as well. But I did want to inform you of that change. Joan, would you like for me to announce this upcoming impromptu group? They have, yeah, would you like to talk about that?
You can hear me, I'm a school teacher.
Yeah.
You can shut up 250 teenagers if you want me out. So, but the second Tuesday of each month is a round robin. We just invite you to come in and sit up here and chat. And I'm fascinated by the information that you bring to us as you discuss this eye drop or that eye drop or that cane or what have you. But we welcome you to a private discussion. What goes in, what is discussed is private and doesn't go necessarily out of the committee. But put the second Tuesday on your month, 9 o'clock in here for a morning chat.
Yeah, I attended one and I got a lot out of it myself. The discussion is very enjoyable, it's helpful, and Joan does a super job as moderator. So thank you very much for continuing all that, and that's about all I have to report.
You know, a lot of you hear the word clubs and committees. And we do have RAC established committees, as you'll see in the minutes, as you see on our RAC website. And then there is the clubs, and those are numerous clubs. But one of our committees that Bill Turcott is in charge of, working with activities, he kind of watches over those clubs a little bit too, and his committee makes sure. But one of the clubs that has an event coming up real soon, and Susie alluded to it, I'd like to invite Janice up for a second to talk about an event that's happening a little later today.
Good morning, everyone. I am Janice Harris, and I wear a lot of hats. And today, right now, it's the Art League. The Plaza Art League, we've had our sign up there that was done many years ago by a couple of men. They were husbands of Art League women. And this week, we all came in and took down our artwork that's been up here for a whole year. It was kind of nice to get it back home. And we left what we thought was our best work of the year. And this afternoon at 3 o'clock, we are having a party up here. We're hosting the Art League. I am representing Carol Crow, the president. As you all probably know, she got hurt and she's over at Plaza West. She has done an amazing job as our president. And I'm just lucky that Ron said, hey Janice, how about getting up and talking to everybody about coming and seeing what we've done for this past year. And if you look around, you can see the names underneath all the work. And we've all, I think, show you what art can be done. A lot of us started our artwork right here at Freedom Plaza. And then we also have the people that are really, really good. They've been doing it for years, and you look at their work and you say, wow, and then you try and do good. Thank you very much, and please come this afternoon, 3 to 4.
Well, I'm going to disappear from the front of the room. I'm going to go to the back of the room, and I'm going to talk a little bit about racrep.org, which has evolved over the past few years from not having it to where we are today. But I just want to review some of the key things we have there. So I need to be there pushing buttons. RACDEP.org is a website for all of us. We don't only have rack information on it. We have a challenge getting it done. Let me just come up and do it the other way. By the way, pushing all these buttons and doing all these wondrous things is Don Bohr, who does the slides and has done a great job. You'll notice on rackrep.org, on the top left-hand side, there's a thing right now that says Black History Month. Well, every month or so, that changes, and it's usually a featured thing that's going on. Black History Month starts next month, and we will have postings on it, and it will have a person, it will have a bio, and you can click on the entry form, and you can place your guesses, and you can repeat that process and repeat that process, and just keep guessing until you get to the right place. There we go, away from where I wanted to be. Over here is a little button that says reload page. Because computers today try and remember so much, so it doesn't have to go out and get new pages all the time, and because RackRep changes their pages all the time, if something's not showing up that we spoke about or you're not quite sure, if you just click that button, the page will reload with the latest information. Up on the next row down, there's a series of little things that say healthcare tech, associate appreciation, forms, what have you. If you want to go down and look at what the tech committee has posted over there, you click that button and it will bring you right down to the tiles that tech has posted. On the next row down are some things that have recently been updated. For example, I spoke about the Get Moving seminar, and at that seminar, it was spoken about a 30-day yoga program that was really good. Well, if you click on here, it will bring you directly to the 30-day yoga program, and you can start watching the 30-day yoga program. Or FICRA had a meeting recently, and it was video, and you can re-watch that if you didn't make it. Our town halls from Angie are up over there. All of them going back in time. Angie, you can't deny something you said because we got them captured, and we keep them there. So they are what they are. Our latest general meeting, this meeting hopefully will be up within the next week or so, and you'll be able to look at that. Then we have a section with all those forms and you'd like to do, like if you want to tell people about your dining experience, it's right there. And by the way, you can access all these right from your cell phone, just as easily as you do it from your computer at home or your iPad or what have you. You can get to the dining portal. You can put in a request for maintenance, a request for housekeeping, technology. More recently, over the past probably 3-4 months, transportation requests. You can fill out a form to compliment an associate of the month. I notice many times in dining experience, a lot of times we're going in and just complimenting the associate in the dining experience, not the meal or the service or the food. Probably better if you do associate of the month, it'll get to the people who are doing that. There's a link to the Touchtone things. You can put a review of a movie that you've seen on Saturday night, and hopefully we're going to get back to having the times of the movies up there. We've been missing that for a while. You can refer a friend, and marketing gets that referral. You can put in a suggestion. and that goes to me, and then I get to discuss it with Angie, and we knock it around and see what's going on there. You can go over to Google and leave a review about Freedom Plaza. You want to know who your RAC rep is? You can bring up that list there, as you may notice, right over here, and it'll have a formal announcement coming soon. But on 6BC, Ron Carter is the new RAC rep. But these are all your RAC reps that you have, and all the people broken down by building, and then you have your executive committee up there. That's all available easily to you. The Insider Scoop is a book that was given to you when you first moved in. A lot of people forgot about it, but it's one of those things that goes on and on and on. You talk about Larry Chambers. Larry has been the one up until now that has been taking care of it. It is currently I don't know how many pages long here, but very long. But it has a ton of information in it. The mission statements for each committee. A great event that we did April 1st that probably will stay on this website as long as we can. If we called it a Sweet Pea event. It was an event for all new people moving in, where all the department heads spoke about what their departments do and how they work. But it's not only good for new people, but it's good to go back and review the RAC bylaws, the Florida statutes covering why we have a RAC, the committee handbook, which talks about what committees are supposed to do and how they work, the council and what they do and how it works. We have the emergency information booklet. We have a pet policy and parking policy and scooter policy. And yes, we do have policies. Every week when the weekly gets updated, John goes in and he updates. I guess going to be updated today. On 27th. Oh, this is today. Sorry. Okay, already updated. Dress code for dining. We have some really great information. We had a speaker talking about pain, and that seminar is up there. The 30-day yoga, how to use the exercise equipment, staying fit. There's a lot of different things under that title. One of them, for those of you who remember Debbie, we have her chair yoga program up here. So if you can't get down here and you still want to do that, that's available. Different health talks, tech tips. They show up in the weekly, but maybe you miss them. Well, they're here for you to look at. How to use Touchdown and set it up. Different things on technology, on video chatting, Microsoft Basics. In addition to the classes that they hold live, there are things there as well. Associate appreciation and a little presentation on associate appreciation. And also how to do auto deposit and so forth. We do live in a community that's greater than our community. It's called Sun City Center. And in Sun City Center, there are events that take place around us. Some of them you might enjoy. You can look here. First place, they have items for sale, and you can post things you have for sale on that website, and it'll go to the residents of Sun City Center. But they also have a calendar of events. And you can see things that are coming up in Sun City Center. Our library special committee, but this takes you to the library where you can go and look at their featured writings and search for various collections and see what they have in the library. You're looking for a particular author, you're looking for a particular book, do we have it in our library? You can find out real quick. And FICRA, which we just had the annual meeting. So just wanted you to know that there's a lot of information. Don't be afraid to go there. You will not blow up Pittsburgh if you push the wrong button. The worst that can happen is you brought up the wrong thing and you'll have to go back and bring up the thing you were looking for. With all that, just about the hour they were allowed is up. I want to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. As I said in the weekly, I'll be gone for a week. I'm going to hide on a cruise ship. Everybody asked me where you're going. I said, I don't really care. I'm going on a cruise ship. That's what matters. And relax, yes. So I thank you all for being here, and have a wonderful day.